The museum is a treasure trove of artifacts and information about the history of the city. When you walk through the door and move through the museum, you will see the history of Centralia from its start to the present time. This quote was from Becky Alt, former executive director of the museum. Now, this video is about the group of volunteers who got together and started the work to preserve the unique and colorful history of Centralia and the surrounding area. Welcome to another episode of Mike at the Museum. Come along as I introduce and tell you about the Centralia Area Historical Society and then the museum's founders. As the Centralia collection grew and grew, it filled Ken's garage, which by now had become its own museum of Centralia memorabilia, which he called the Centralia Room. Now, after a speech Ken gave one day, he met Nate Rothschild. "These kinds of things are a great treasure," Rothschild said. "We want to make sure that they never get lost and that they become a more permanent part of the history of the area." This meeting between Ken and Nate was the beginning of the Centralia Area Historical Society and then the museum. The original charter members, the people that I refer to as the founders, were Nate Rothschild as president, Kenny Aistreich as vice president and archivist, Kathy Stumeyer as secretary/treasurer, Dr. George Ross as historian. Other charter members included Woody Kaling, Mike Jones, Wendell Lamlin, Richard Salisbury, John Scattergood, John Stumeyer, and Virginia Rohrbacher. When the society was chartered in 1998, they were looking for a place to exhibit all this memorabilia. Nate Rothschild offered a building that he owned at 327 South Locust. But before anything could be moved in, the building caught fire and burned. Then the Stumeyers offered space in the old Topper women's clothing store at 111 East Broadway. Soon they realized that even more space would be needed to house this collection. In late 1999, the Society purchased the brick building on South Locust Street that had once been a grocery distribution center owned by Cole and Meyer. Built around 1917, the wholesale grocery distributed goods to red and white stores, which were small mom and pop neighborhood grocers. The late Ralph Spray, one of the founders of Centralia Cartage, donated money toward the purchase of the building, which the museum still occupies today. It was this group of the founders and other volunteers, through a great deal of hard work, that made the museum what it is today. It is hard to put into words what these founders and other volunteers, as the museum was getting started, meant to the creation of the museum. So all we can say is a big thank you. Here are some pictures of the work of the founders and other volunteers that they did to make the museum what it is today. if you've made it this far, I just want to say thanks for watching this video. I hope you didn't mind me putting in all those pictures in there. I just wanted to somehow illustrate how hard that the founders and the volunteers worked in making the museum what it is today. So I appreciate you letting me do that. The next thing though is coming up. This was part 2. Up next is going to be part 3, where we're going to talk about the day the museum actually came into being, and that was October 14th. The year was 2000, or better known as Dedication Day. Once again, thanks for watching Mike at the Museum. Don't forget to, like, subscribe, share, especially subscribe if you want, more videos about the museum and all the wonderful things we have here. If you want to come and see these things for yourself, please do so. We are open Wednesdays and Fridays, 1 p.m. to 4 p.m., and Saturdays, 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Once again, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.